Guys, before we start today's podcast, I just wanted to take a minute and let you all know why I started Trending Left, the inspiration behind it, what I want to do with it, if you guys can help me out. So I'm going to just tell you how it all started right now. Trending Left is a non-profit grassroots organization started by a single person, me, who felt the same heartbreak that all of us felt. 65 million plus Americans felt on that infamous November night in 2016. And that guy, me, decided to start a website to help get more non-voters and non-political people to vote in state and local elections. My name is Brandon Alexander. I am 28. I have a couple disabilities, physical, and I have been published in various print and digital politics related papers, magazines, and websites. I happen to live in a congressional district in Southern California that had been long held by a Republican for 30 years by Russia's favorite congressman, Dana Rohrabacher. In the 2018 midterm elections, I knew influencing even just 10 to 15 votes in both the Democratic primary and in the general election could make a difference in my district and the surrounding districts that were equally as purple and 50-50. The amount of votes I secured from those who don't normally vote was around 12 that I can verify. And even though that number is small, I knew that others out there were doing the same thing, having the same thoughts. And I knew combined with those people, we could really make a difference. And today, all of Southern California's districts that were solidly red for more than a decade are now all bright blue. And one of the main reasons of Trending Left is to keep it that way. And TL now has a growing following of almost 2,000 people on Facebook, and all of us are in this fight together to ensure that we keep the House bright blue, flip the Senate, take that power away from Mitch McConnell, and place a Democrat who has the best chance of actually passing legislation that would provide health care, education, livable minimum wage, safe recreational marijuana, humane immigration reform, implement gun safety laws, common sense ones, and make the playing field for the average American citizen as fair as possible in a way that would make all of our progressive favorite president, FDR, grin from ear to ear. So for today's podcast, I am going to be reading the opinion piece that I wrote yesterday on Monday, July 8th, 2019, titled, "It's Time for Republicans to Sober Up and Check into a Rehab for an Extended or even an Indefinite Stay." This is what I will be calling an audio article. Ironically enough, I got the idea from Breitbart.com, who does a similar thing. You can find an audio version of their articles at the top of each article. I'm going to do something similar, just without the blatant racism and, bigotry. So with that said, it is Tuesday, July 9th, 2019. It is 2:15 a.m. on the West Coast. Thank you for tuning in to this Trending Left podcast. This is episode 3. Please subscribe to our YouTube page so that we can get closer to reaching the subscription threshold in order to monetize videos, which is 1,000 subscribers within a month, that'd be great in a month, within a year. I cannot do this without your help and support, which is why, as annoying as I know it is, I am asking for your help to raise money to make our shared cause at Trending Left be as powerful, educational, inspiring, and as widespread as it possibly can be. To pay for adequate growth of the website, Facebook page, Twitter, and YouTube channel, the cost of those operations is between $300 and $500 per month. To really bring you guys professional grade content, I could really use your help in acquiring a few one-time costs, but would really be worth it in the long run. Those costs would be to help me acquire a good, just solid 4K camera that's portable, a good portable microphone in which to do daily video podcasts from anywhere, and cost of getting tickets or press badges to getting into the plethora of political, presidential, Democratic rallies that will be happening in California, near where I live, as the primary season kicks up, and California is a Super Tuesday state this year, so it likely will determine our nominee. So, with that said, I really hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and I hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like I said. And if you're able to make a donation of any amount, even if it's $1, it's more about feeling supported by you guys than it is about the money per se. I mean, the money is needed, but it gives me so much confidence when I can receive a donation. It makes me believe in what I'm doing. So if you're able to do that, please do so via either the PayPal button that you can find on the left side of the website or in the mobile menu. You can also find that same button at the end of each article that is posted. You can become a member of our Patreon page, which I'm not well versed in Patreon, but I know it's something I'm gonna have to do. So you can also find that button on the sidebar on the website and below each article. I hope that you guys know that I'm a trustworthy person. I mean, I know I can just say that, but I hope if you've been following me that you can tell that I'm well-meaning, and that if you do decide to make a donation, you can have peace of mind that your donation will be going to someone and something that is only going to be spending your money on fighting this David versus Goliath fight. That's how I view it, that we progressives must have. I would sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, really, really appreciate it. Like I said, it gives me so much confidence knowing that people believe enough in me, and what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to teach myself to do, by sending a few bucks my way. I'm not going to be spending it on anything other than this website, the Trending Left cause. So yeah, please go to the website, click on that PayPal button or that Patreon button. Periodically, I will have a Facebook fundraiser posted to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/official Trending Left. If you need if you'd like to send money but would rather do it snail mail, which I know some people still do. I don't have a PO box set up yet, so if you could just send me an email at trendingleftoficial@gmail.com and outlining everything you would like to do and how you want to set it up that you feel most comfortable doing, and we'll go from there. Alright, so let's get to the article. I hope you guys enjoy it. I had fun writing it. And yeah, I mean, I do like trashing on the Republican Party when they fall flat on their face over and over and over. Alright, so let's get to it. Many Trump supporters say they won't listen to anything we on the left say about the president because so many of us have referred to their favorite president as a liar, a rapist, a swindler, a monster, beyond dumb, a racist, deplorable, and many other fitting adjectives. But what do they expect when so many of them say ridiculous things like, quote, I don't believe he's lied about anything on purpose, or, well, all politicians lie, so what? What more evidence do we need to almost be scientific about how that kind of response is an overwhelming sign of the Trump base being completely brainwashed by Trump, Fox News, Breitbart, Daily Caller, Rush Limbaugh, Hannity, and the Republican Party. For us on the left, we simply just don't get it. None of us who have brains that function via logic and reasoning ever will. We on the left have our opinions and biases because we know the facts and we have ideas for how to implement new policies based on the logic behind those facts. The right doesn't get to say that we are silencing or censoring them just because we disagree with them. It's because their opinions and their ideas are based on lies, false narratives, and are simply the very definition of illogical. That's if, like, someone who struggled in college to get the minimum required credits in math to earn a degree in political science or economics, parentheses, this may or may not be about myself, at a 2-year school started bitching and moaning about how MIT or Harvard Business School wouldn't accept them because of their 3.7 GPA at a pretty average run-of-the-mill community college. Some things you just don't get to complain about, especially when you're extremely illogical and dumb ideas and beliefs built on false premises just don't make any sense whatsoever. The differences between Republicans / conservatives and Democrats / liberals used to be mainly around how big the government's role should play a part in the lives of Americans and what kind of setup our economy should have. However, for about 4 decades now, nothing could be further from the truth when it comes to Republicans and the right. The so-called, quote, conservative party has continued time and time again to skyrocket the national debt via tax cuts for the rich that only help the top 3% of the wealthiest Americans and has burdened the rest of us, with the results of those tax cuts ending in the cost of paying for those unnecessary and extremely harmful tax cuts being paid for by mainly the middle and lower middle class, basically you and me. This all happens while a Republican is in the White House, but as soon as a Democrat takes office, they start crying about the massive debt, totally disregarding that it was their policies that caused them, and the monsters like Mitch McConnell's bring government to an absolute halt because of this. See the Obama administration. Republicans go from spoiled little rich brats running around Congress, skipping around and flaunting the equivalent to a congressional American Express black card, spending unlimited amounts of money on anything and everything they want without a care in the world for how it affects the rest of us. Then the, quote, conservative party again becomes a cult of austerity, willing to bring down the government to its knees as soon as there is a Democrat in the Oval Office. Again, see the Obama administration and Mitch McConnell. Isn't it strange to those who have been Republicans since Reagan and, quote, trickle-down economics, who now under Trump have made things seem so bad that it's the Democrat Party being the one that flaunts our pocket-sized Constitution? How it's the left that stands up for agencies like the FBI, NSA, and CIA, relatively, who the left less than 20 years ago basically couldn't trust at all, and is now the only party that has any coherent ideas on foreign policy. How did that happen? When Democrats win in 2020, they must ensure that Republicans don't get a seat at the adults' table until the mature and the educated adults on the left try to fix and repair the damage to our country that they have caused over the past almost half century now. The Republican Party is a tax cut for the rich addicted cult who is still on a 40-year bender, who recently got so out of control that they married themselves to a $2 whore in Vegas named Donald J. Trump, and still hasn't realized how messed up they still are. It's time to hand over the keys, sober up, and check yourselves into rehab for an extended or indefinite stay, Republicans. And don't try rebranding yourselves as independents and with a new color of purple. We on the left are smart enough to know what you're doing. We won't let it happen. Well, at least if you guys support what Trending Left and other progressive sites and YouTube channels are that are dedicated to trying to repeat the truth, repeat the facts, explain to you guys why it's so important that even if we sound repetitive, it's because for so long the narrative on this has been both sides, when it really isn't. I mean, Republicans have almost all of the blood on their hands, and none of their policy ideas have ever worked, at least on the economy, if anything. And they even lie about weapons of mass destruction to start a war. I mean, there's nothing good about the Republican Party, at least in the past half century. I know so many of them love their Ronald Reagan, but we on the left who studied this know Ronald Reagan was the man who kind of set the table for all of this wealth inequality to take place. And this is why we have candidates like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren being serious contenders when 20 years ago you couldn't fathom somebody like Bernie Sanders having a legit chance to become president. But now he is, because people are starting to listen, and it's through the efforts of the people that inspired me, who have their own YouTube and progressive blogs, and who have been saying this stuff for decades, and I'm just trying to add another voice to that megaphone. So with all that said, if you can make a donation, it would mean so much to me. Please consider it. And at the very least, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/official Trending Left, follow us on Twitter at trend_left, and also find us on Patreon at patreon.com/trendingleft. Without your guys' support and those of you who have given me well wishes and told me to keep fighting on, I can't be more grateful for you guys. It just means a lot to me. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I know it's a little shorter. I'm going to keep making these as much as I can, because I need to practice at making them. This is only my third podcast. But yeah, please go check out trendingleft.com. The slogan is go learn some stuff, because you will learn some stuff. It isn't just about progressive politics. You'll learn about everything from, well, obviously politics. You'll learn about space exploration, environment, climate change, LGBTQ issues. We're starting up a sports section. What else? We have a whole section dedicated to healthcare and Democrats in 2020. We also have a section called WTF Trump, which I'm sure you're all going to enjoy once I put together the video ideas I have for that. Alright, guys. Guys and gals and non-binaries. I love you guys. Peace out.